Merritt, congratulations. It's amazing. You won the very first Rebecca Luker Courage Award.
Thank you. It's a huge honor, both because I knew Rebecca and what she meant and what she stood for, and her courage, but also because of everything Target ALS is doing.
Her family speaks very highly of you, and your colleagues put in a terrific nomination for you. It was very clear that you've made just such a tremendous impact in our field. Tell me, Merritt, where are we in the state of ALS research?
I think we're in a really good state. We have a lot to do, but the field has changed dramatically. There's thousands of people studying the illness and hundreds of companies, in large part because of Target ALS's initiatives. So I think we're getting to the point where we have good targets that we can bring treatments to trials for patients with ALS.
Got it. What do you think's missing?
I think we don't know a few key things that would be game changers. For example, we don't know what the earliest changes are in the motor neuron or the surrounding cells that cause the illness. The closer we get to those early things, I think the more effective our treatments will be.
Sure. How would you explain to someone at home what a motor neuron is, just in case they're not aware?
Motor neurons are the cells in our brain and our spinal cord that help us move. So, one type of them go to your muscles and send messages to say, like, pick up the spoon or cut something or any motion you want to do. Other motor neurons help the speed and the fluidity and how good you are at doing something. And they're really critical for every part of life, from walking to breathing to speaking.
Yeah. What do you think the most promising research on the horizon may be?
The good news is that's a tough question because there's so much that's exciting.
Good to be a tough question, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that some of the gene therapies for not just the genetic form of ALS, but also the sporadic form, where we can turn on or turn off proteins of interest, is going to be a game changer for people with ALS. And so that gets me very excited. For example, we heard about the gene therapies around STAthmin2. And I think that's going to be exciting. But it's that technology for ALS and other brain diseases that I think is going to be a game changer.
And you mentioned sporadic forms and genetic.
Yeah.
Why do you think there is such a difference in percentages of genetic versus sporadic?
It's also an interesting question. We see this not just in ALS, but also in Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, where there's a subset of people where there's a single gene that causes the illness, and then there's other people where it's probably more complex. It might be a number of genetic risk factors that just up your risk and things in the environment. But I do think that the tools that we learn and how we learn from the genetic form help us with the more common, what we call sporadic.
Sure. When you're speaking to patients, what are some of the most important things you tell them so that they understand the disease?
Well, first I tell them that the field is changing and that there is hope and that there are options for them today. There's going to be even more options tomorrow, but there are definitely things that they can do today that improve their quality of life and their longevity. And I really advise that they find a team of an ALS center that will be there for them to help them understand all those options so they can make their best choices.
Got it. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. Congrats again on winning the award. It was so incredibly well deserved.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Merritt.
All right.